What's going on, y'all? It's UTXJT the Don on behalf of GameIlluminati.com here with Ace of All Trades. And we also have some Patreon backers. We got AbSmooth. Say what up, AB.
What's good, y'all?
Back again. And we have Bishop. Say what's good, Bishop.
What's up, y'all?
And we're going to talk about Luke Cage Season 2. As you all know, we did a review on Luke Cage Season 1 as well. And this was rated one of my top 5 just because like it had so much of an impact and it was very, very relatable. But I wanted to see what was going on with Luke Cage Season 2 because as we all know, Diamondback is gone. And Kai'Mouth is gone, but we still have Mariah and we still got Shades. Shades is very, very sneaky, so I wanted to see what was going on with him. And now we got a new person coming in called Bushmaster. So just a little bit about the plot before we get into the thick of things. Luke Cage Season 2 began with Luke Cage actually getting out of jail. He came back to Harlem. He wanted to clean up the streets because he felt like Harlem is his and he has a duty to protect it. So not only did he have to deal with Mariah and Shades because after Kai'Mouth was killed, they're still trying to do their business, but they want to do things on the legal side. They're trying to do things on the clean side. So they're technically trying to get out the game, but they still have a lot of rumblings and they still have a lot of dealings with the other families and the other boroughs. So that's what they're trying to do. Other than that, Luke Cage is trying to get rid of all the drugs that are in Harlem because it's a huge outbreak of some shit that's making people go crazy. And then you got Bushmaster coming in. He came all the way from Jamaica. Now they're in Brooklyn, but Bushmaster's like, yo, Harlem is mine. We're going to take over Brooklyn first, and then we're going to come over to Harlem and see what's good. So we got all of these dealings into play. So that's basically the synopsis, or that's the beginning of Luke Cage Season 2. So Ace, we're going to start off with you, man. How did you feel about the overall plot and how things were set up in Luke Cage Season 2 compared to Season 1?
This is actually one of those rare moments where I actually feel like Season 2 may have been better than Season 1, in my opinion. I did enjoy the plot itself. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed where everything was going, the characters, the new characters. They're kind of, and I have to say initially too, Misty Knight, I like her character and how she developed more in this season than she did from the last season. And it was cool to actually see more of the Defenders part of the whole plot itself. And overall, I was thoroughly impressed. And that ending, I can't wait to talk about that ending because that threw me off. And there was only one thing that bothered me this entire season. Well, actually, you know what? Two, and one of them was just kind of light, but and we'll talk about that later on in the video. But overall, I was pretty happy with Season 2, and I think it was dope. And then you guys definitely gotta check it out if you haven't already.
Okay. What about you, Bishop? How'd you feel about Season 2 compared to Season 1?
Season 2 was actually, really well done. The first one was like kind of confusing, like the second half of it. But yeah, I really like the second season because Misty Knight, I agree with Ace on that. Misty Knight was her development was really good. Okay. And the first one, it was kind of bland at first, not gonna lie, but that's pretty much all I gotta say about the second season.
Yeah, was I the only one that kind of felt like Misty? I mean, because she was like she was really in the Season 1 by the book. Towards the end of Season 1, she kind of like let up a little bit, and especially when she lost her arm, it's like you can't do nothing but let up after that. But she was kind of annoying at that point, but understandably, like she was a cop, and she trying to do her job by the book, like completely by the book, and then she kind of just started letting up. So that's how I feel. I feel like she was slightly annoying, but she definitely let up a whole lot in Season 2. She was like, yo, like I gotta kind of switch some things up. So that's how I feel, at least. Right. Okay, AB, what you think about Season 2, man, compared to Season 1? Yeah. I wish I had some beats and stuff for Season 2. I wish I had some of my projects in there, during the scenes and stuff.
Right, Bay Area, get hypey. Yeah.
Steph Curry should have came in there and shot a couple shots or something. Show him that he got some kills.
Facts. Well, I don't even know why it's in Harlem. It should just be in the Bay.
Yeah, it should have been in Oakland, San Francisco.
Ryan Coogler, what's up? All right, come on, bro.
You there, AB? Hello.
There he is.
I guess not.
Oh man.
Where this man go, yo? You have a technical issue?
Like he just unmuted himself.
Yeah, is it not working?
Okay, there we go.
Just
All
went-
right.
Okay, my bad. So, yeah, season 2 was definitely better than season 1. And I agree with everything y'all said. They should have had my beats in the intro. You know, it would have made it a little bit more fire. Steph Curry should have dropped 55 on the Knicks again. You feel me? And had Luke Cage pissed. That would have been lit. But nah, I just really like the way the antagonist to me was a lot better in this season. Like Cottonmouth was like, okay, that's cool, but it really didn't do much for me. And then they killed him off hella quick. And then with Diamondback, it was kind of like a little bit predictable with the plot twist. So I was like, okay, it really didn't draw me, but I think they did a real good job with Bushmaster and all his motives and everything. Seemed like they took a page out of the MCU's book with making him a little bit more relatable. Yeah, so.
Okay, so yeah, with that being said, let's get right into it, man. Let's talk about the main antagonist of season 2, Bushmaster. Now, again, just like you mentioned, AB, they kind of made him more like the Killmonger route. He wasn't necessarily a bad person, and I was initially coming in, I thought that like, yo, like he's going to take Harlem by force. He's going to bring everything into there. Like he's just going to mess Harlem up. But he really wasn't about that. He just wanted what was rightfully his for his family, the MacGyver family. We learned a little bit more about the dealings that the MacGyver family and the Stokes family, which is Mariah's family, had in common. And we found out that they had a 50-50 split with Harlem's Paradise and Bushmaster Rum. And due to some other dealings, basically the Stokes family ended up like fucking shit up in Jamaica with the MacGyver family. And that's why Bushmaster was so upset. They actually tried to kill him in Jamaica, and they almost got away with it, but he ended up doing some like voodoo stuff and ended up getting some kind of herb, which I forgot the name of it right now. Nightshade, there you go. So they ended up getting some nightshade, and that's how we ended up not only recovering, because he was almost about to die, but that's where the basis of his power comes from. And I was looking them up before Luke Cage season 2 even started. They said that the original Bushmaster basically went through the same experiments that Luke Cage did, but they switched it up for this one. So that's why I was a little bit confused coming into it, because like he has almost the same strength as Luke, but he can get shot. Bullets don't bounce off of Bushmaster like they do for Luke Cage. So I found that one interesting. Like he's not almost indestructible like Luke Cage is. He can still get hurt, but he has definitely superior combat skills compared to Luke, because he was messing them up throughout the entire thing. Yeah, until Luke Cage until he started learning better and finding out what was up with Bushmaster and how he fights or whatever. But he was definitely messing them up a lot.
Like Eddie.
Yeah, he was also so capoeira and stuff. So yeah, he was definitely doing that. But I found it interesting how he kind of switched him up a little bit. But like I said, like I kind of felt for him towards the end, because he didn't want to do anything but basically kill Mariah and take back what was rightfully his. He was saying in the beginning like Harlem is mine, and we were like, okay, like what does he mean there? Or you just like what is the basis for you just wanting Harlem so bad? We ended up definitely finding it out towards the end. So Bushmaster to me, like he wasn't a bad character overall. I actually again, like I said, I fell for him towards the end, but you know, things ended up going out like exactly like he wanted to. But we're gonna start off with you, AB. How did you feel about Bushmaster overall in Luke Cage?
Man, Bushmaster was dope. He reminded me a lot of the movie Shadows, because he was just really just a real rude boy, as they would call it, you know, top shotter. Even just the intro, the beginning, when they just first introduced him, and I forgot the dude's name, but the other Jamaican dude who he went to go visit, and he just literally cut his head off within the first like 10 minutes. I was just like, oh, okay, so this is the direction we going. Like, he was real ruthless in his mission, pretty much, to get what he wanted. I like that. And they even showed, you know, he showed some kind of humanity with everything, because he was real based in his family. You know, he did everything because they killed his mom right in front of him. That was like some savage shit. So I was just like, it was just pretty interesting to see how his character would develop and everything, and see where his powers came from with the Nightshade and everything. Also, the relationship he developed with Tilda was interesting as hell to me toward the end. But I think we'll probably touch on that a little bit later.
Yeah, absolutely. Ace, how'd you feel about Bushmaster?
I think Bushmaster was perfect for this season. I love seeing his character development throughout the entire season itself. Yeah, he was ruthless at the beginning and everything like that, but then once you kind of got like more of the understanding of where he's coming from and whatnot, he only wanted Harlem at the end of the day. He wanted Harlem's paradise, but he necessarily didn't want to put all that stuff out, really negative, violent stuff out there. And when you think about it, all the vicious things that he did to the majority of the people that were in the season were all Mariah Stokes or Dillard's people. It wasn't like on some random like, oh, let's just get these random people out here, let's just shoot them all up, Nah, that wasn't his style. He just wanted what was his, and like you guys kept saying, this was more of a development, just like how Killmonger was in Black Panther. And with season 2 and everything like that, I really think it was really dope. You know, you get to see like how Mariah was back when she was a kid, and with Bushmaster being as a kid itself, you get a better understanding of why he has Nightshade. Now, there was one thing that you said earlier, JG, that I wanted to kind of correct was, yeah, they have Luke Cage and Bushmaster have similar powers. But the thing is, what makes them different is the fact that Nightshade, as more as you continue to take it with any type of substance, it continues to deteriorate your body within inside you. So that's why you get to the point of where everybody keeps warning Bushmaster. He keeps doing this, and he's cheated death before, and you saw how bad he was. You keep doing this, it's gonna kill you. And that's why he had to leave. Because the Nightshade legit was killing him inside, even though it was saving him. So it was more of like a double-edged sword. But yeah, Bushmaster is dope.
All right, Bishop, how'd you feel about Bushmaster this season?
Honestly, when I first saw him, I'm not gonna lie, man, I was a little bit shook by him because all the flicks he was doing and the fact that he was like sort of bulletproof, that was like, you know, a nice touch to it. Right. And at first, yeah, like when I first looked him up, I saw him, he was like a part of the Serpent Society or something like that, like something involved with Captain America or something like that. So I was kind of confused about it. But overall on the show, he really was a good villain. You know, he didn't have like a complex plan. It was pretty much just go to A, B to C, pretty much. His acting was good. I really liked his acting.
Right.
You know? Yeah, and he was intimidating as hell. I'm not gonna lie about that. You know, and that's pretty much all I gotta say about that, basically.
Okay. All right, let's get on. Let's go on the other antagonists, Mariah and Shades. Now, I don't know about y'all, but even in season 1, when I saw Mariah and Shades kissing, it's a cringe moment every time.
Every fucking
cringe moment, bro.
Every single time. I don't know why they set it up. Like, it's just not. It remind me of somebody auntie and just like your little cousin. Like, come on, bro.
100%. Yes. I was disgusted every single time. I don't know why they had to make that a love relationship. Like, y'all could have just been. That's what I felt like. I felt like they definitely tried to force it upon us, and we're like, did nobody ask for this, bro? Like, that ain't it right there. Like, y'all could have just did y'all business. Yeah, it was just, again, just cringy. But in any case, like I said before, for the overall plot, Mariah she's an interesting character, and Shades is too, but Mariah is even more interesting because she hated her family, right? She hated her mom. She was jealous of Cottonmouth because obviously she favored Cottonmouth, and that's why she killed her brother in the first place, or her cousins, my bad. So that was already the case. She already hated him, but like as season 2 ended up developing, she got more and more savage. And I don't know who said, I know somebody, it was either in one of my chats or the Discord or something. Somebody said that through the end of season 2, Luke Cage was more brutal than the Punisher, and I was like, still no, because the Punisher like killed everybody like with no remorse. I still don't think that it was as brutal as the Punisher, but Mariah did have a lot of savage moments, especially when she was in jail. Like I wouldn't expect her to do half that stuff. Like she really turned up, but Mariah at the end of the day like was just weird because Shades told her in the beginning, like, sell the Basquiat, we can get this money and we could just escape. And she didn't want to do it. She still wanted to dabble in the guns. She still wanted to dabble in the drugs. She still wanted to talk to all the family. So I felt like
not the drugs. That's the one thing about.
But that was at the end though. That was towards the end, not in the beginning though. Not in the beginning, but towards the end she did. You know, she was like, all right, like y'all can run through Harlem and sell whatever you want. I just need a cut because she was just all about that money. But again, like I just feel like the way that she was going about it, she was conflicted within herself. Like it's like you wanted to still run the empire, you still wanted to run Harlem's Paradise, you still wanted to be the woman, you wanted to be the face of Harlem so bad, but you didn't want to deal with the day-to-day of everything. Like it was just weird. Like I actually just wanted to still take control of what her family created, but like you're still doing the same thing. You weren't really making your own path towards the end. You ended up doing the same thing that Cottonmouth was doing. You ended up doing the same thing that your mom did. So that was pretty crazy. And then Shades, on the other hand, again, he was conflicted too, because he wanted to get out the game and he wanted to take the easy route. Again, he kept telling Mariah to sell the Basquiat. She was like, no, okay. So he wanted to go and was like, all right, well, let's see who was going to give us all this money. So they tried to get with some politicians or whatever, get some get rich quick schemes, and they almost worked, but Luke Cage ended up thwarting it, or Bushmaster ended up having something to do with it to basically deface Mariah's name and get her in a whole bunch of trouble, to basically corner her and kill her. So Shades at the end, he ended up being a snitch. So he was like, yo, like I'm done, Mariah is crazy, I don't know what I'm gonna do with her. So he ended up basically ratting and telling everything about Mariah and everything that they were doing, because he wanted to get out. But still at the end, boy, because Mariah ended up dying, and we gonna talk about how she ended up dying, because that was pretty crazy too. But he still ended up getting locked up at the end because of a technicality, because Mariah ended up passing. So that basically breached the terms of the actual agreement that they made with the cops so they can get immunity. So Shades, again, he was interesting because he had that confliction, but you could tell that he wanted to get out from the beginning, especially when Cottonmouth passed. I kind of feel like that did something to him. And I don't know about y'all, I kind of feel like he made that love relationship with Mariah just to get close to her. I feel like he didn't really want that, but he just wanted to just stay as close to her as he can so that he can end up finding a way to get out eventually at the end. So
be the top dog or something like that.
But at the same time, like I felt like at the end of season 1 he wanted to be the top dog, but in season 2 he didn't. Like I said, I just felt like he was also conflicted on what he wanted to do. Like he just felt like at the end enough was enough. Like I'm trying to get out the game. But in the beginning, I definitely felt like, yeah, he wanted to take over that position eventually. But since Mariah is actually in the Stokes family and she has full control of Harlem's Paradise, that he was just gonna stay close enough just to see what happened.
He wanted the club. That's what it wanted.
Yeah, he did.
The club at the end of the day. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, he did.
If he would have got the club, he would have been good. He would have been fine. He would have been like, okay, cool. That's it. That's all I wanted. All right, bet. Let's go.
Yeah. So Ace, how'd you feel about Mariah and Shades in season 2?
I mean, it's cringy as fuck. I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I actually started liking Shades a little bit more because, like, you can see he had more morals than anything, and you can see the breakdown what was going on with Shades and his confliction, especially when he had to kill his buddy because his homie slipped up.
Comanche, Comanche was the first snitch.
Yeah, Comanche, and like you can see the relationship between Comanche and Shades because you saw how Mariah would talk to Comanche, and Shades was just like, "Yo, like just fall back, bro. I got you. I'll take care of it." And then but the thing was, we didn't know towards the end of the season that Comanche was actually snitching to try to reduce the system, but his sentence, but actually to be free. But the thing was, Comanche actually was trying to get Shades to do the same thing that Shades ended up doing towards the end of the season. And if he would have just did that, they would have both been alive. Mariah would have been in jail. There you go. But then, you know, Shades had to been Shades come through and kill him, and then it was a wrap. But the Stokes, Miranda Stokes, she makes me cringe, to say the least. I still feel like Cottonmouth was a wasted character, and I still feel like they should have kept. I would have loved to have Cottonmouth been in season 2. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Cottonmouth was a dope character, dope villain, and everything like that. But, you know, you still saw some moral side to him when it came to, you know, with Pops, until Pops got shot. And the thing was, with the, you know, her embracing instead of the Dillard side, like, you can tell like she was having a confliction with that. You know, money makes you do strange things, and you can tell that she was losing her edge because of that. And then once you knew about Bushmaster and everything, that the history they had, she was just doing some reckless things and whatnot, and it worked for character development. But I still didn't like her. And then she was foul for what she did in the when they went to the restaurant and literally shot up everybody. Like, that was foul. And I was just like, she didn't even have to do all that, but she was dumb because she used that gun. And
that same 38, bro. 38 revolver. Pearl handle, baby.
Right. And I don't know. I just thought that was very, very interesting. And, you know, it is what it is. But I mean, she played a role. She tried to be something. She was messed up to her daughter. I did feel bad for her because of how her daughter came to be born. That's, you know, it's crazy. So like, the Stokes are not just about not about just gangster, about money, about hustling, but also as a family of incest. And like, that's, you know, it was sad, and I felt bad for her. I can understand why she felt the way she did towards her daughter, and also a little bit more towards what she felt towards Cottonmouth or Cornelius. So I understand why she had hatred towards her family and everything like that, and how she had that confliction. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yep. Bishop, how'd you feel about Mariah Shades?
I love your character development, honestly, because at first she didn't want anything to do with the whole, you know, gang shootings and stuff like that. Over time, you can see her, you know, get more involved in it, and you start to see that she actually starts liking, you know, all the dirty stuff going on. And I honestly feel like she literally, like, she purposely pushed Tilda away from her so that she would wind up like her.
Little does she know.
Yeah.
And and I think that Bushmaster was kind of right. He said a Stokes is a Stokes all the way to the end, and you can see that with, you know, what was her name? Mama Mabel.
Yeah, Mabel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you can see how dirty she was, and then you see, you know, Mariah turn more and more like her to the very end.
Like mom, like daughter.
And that's what I like.
Yep.
That's why she pushed her away.
Yeah, I would agree with that. AB, how'd you feel?
Just to piggyback on what everybody said again, yes, it was cringy. I hated the little love aspect of it, but I did like to see her, you know, going more and more into a villain and embracing what her nature was as far as being a Stokes. Like, that to me was kind of dope. It was kind of cool how she killed everybody in the shop, but at the end of the day, yeah, that was some crazy shit. Especially because it's like, you already torturing a man, burning him to death, and then you get impatient and shoot him. So that was kind of stupid. I feel like if she wouldn't have shot him, she probably would have got away with it, at least in the eyes of the law. But I think that was a defining moment for her. Just seeing how ruthless she has become and seeing her snap. The moment in jail definitely threw me off. So that was pretty dope too. As far as Shade's character goes, like, I don't know, was they hinting that him and Comanche just kind of had like a bromance in jail, or was that just me?
Nah, she
had
was
some more stuff.
Yeah, okay. I was.
Yeah, because I remember he said that was just in prison, you know, now we're on the outside.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I could have swore that they were saying something like they had, you know, kind of situationship in jail. So
maybe I ain't catch that one. Maybe I didn't catch that.
I noticed they said stuff about that, like that they were close and everything like that. But like, I thought they meant in the sense of like they were homies, they were boys. I didn't think anything else like that.
I think that's how it started.
Because that, like, yeah, I think they started as like partners growing up, but then in jail, because if you notice, like, Comanche kind of low key seemed a little bit jealous every time Shades was talking to Mariah, and he was like, yo, throwing little shots.
No, then, he was jealous because of how I don't think he was jealous. I think he was pissed of how he was being treated by her. And I think it was interesting to see Shades act the way he was around Miranda, even though he knows Shades as more of a cold stone killer, more of a alpha male, more of somebody leading instead of following with his tail between his legs. I think that's what he was saying.
And another thing is Mariah even, said something about it. So that's why I was just like, I don't know, man. That's kind of interesting little dynamic if that is the case. But it's a little speculation just for everybody to think. But I think going along with Shades, the Comanche aspect was kind of interesting too, to see how he developed as a snitch. At first they were just saying he was going to talk to his mom. His mom ends up being the police, so it's just like crazy. And then at the end, when Shades actually gives up Mariah, I think that was interesting how the cops actually had Comanche's mom in the interrogation room behind the double pane glass. So while he's giving up his confession, he's actually self-snitching on himself about what really happened with Comanche. So that was crazy.
Okay. All right, let's talk a little bit about Tilda, the daughter of Mariah. Now Ace already touched on her a little bit, but
Tilda pissed me off, bro.
So Tilda was like a little innocent woman. She had her own little shop with a lot of herbs and stuff. Like she wanted to do the holistic route of healing. So Mariah ended up getting in touch with her again. Tilda again didn't want anything to do with her mama, but she gave her a chance. And through that, she found out how much worse her mama is. She ended up getting involved in everything, and all through that, like, she was just trying to stay away, but Mariah was trying to mend that relationship. But towards the end, again, with a little bit of help from Bushmaster, because Bushmaster ended up visiting her because she was the only one that had Nightshade in New York and knew how to craft everything, had all the materials that Bushmaster needed in order to get stronger and recover. So through that relationship, they ended up developing their own little relationship. It was reluctantly from Tilda at first, but then she ended up embracing it towards the end. But that was crazy how that relationship ended up developing, and then it ended up being crazy how towards the end it ended up being the same way how it was at first. Like, Tilda at the end of the day despised her mom, and what she ended up doing during that last visit to Mariah in the prison, she ended up giving her a meal, and that meal had some poison in it. And so that was some sneaky shit. How Tilda, you didn't peep that?
Kiss.
You didn't.
It was a kiss. It was a milk.
Yeah, it was on her makeup in her lips.
It was on her lipstick.
My bad. I thought it was a food.
No, fam. She kissed her mom on the lips because she kissed her mom on the lips, and then she remembered how when she's like really into talking to her mom and everything, trying to give her a chance, she calls her mommy. But when she said mother, and Miranda knew. She knew. Mariah knew. She said, she called me mother, and she contemplated about it, and she was like, So I'm thinking around that time too. That's when she started to write her will and everything like that, because she knew something was up.
Oh, my bad. That was something else. My bad. I had it wrong about how she killed her, but it was still poison in the kiss. My bad. It wasn't food. It was a kiss. So sorry about that.
Lipstick.
So it was lipstick, but she ended up poisoning her regardless, and Mariah ended up finding out towards the end who did it, because she wasn't feeling well, and that was with the last visit with Luke Cage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I was like, yo, like, Tilda was on some other shit, and Mariah ended up knowing towards the end what ended up happening. That was it. No, that was actually after. Yeah, that was after the will ended up happening. So
what?
So, but you already mentioned that once Mariah ended up passing, like right before she did, she already wrote that will, and basically took Tilda out of it. She ain't give her nothing, and ended up giving Luke Cage everything, basically. So that was the real twist of that, and we gonna get on that in a second. But Tilda, we already know that it's gonna be set up. She's gonna be the next one in line, because she's, even though she wants to deny it, she's the last living Stokes now. So I got a feeling this season 3, she's gonna end up having a battle with Luke Cage over who's gonna end up running Harlem. So that's a crazy development. But AB, we're gonna start off with you. How'd you feel about Tilda and her development?
It was very interesting because to me it seemed like she was real, like, you know, really innocent, in her shell, stayed in her own little world, and then her mom comes to visit, and that's when you can tell like everything was gonna go for the worst. Like after her visit with Bushmaster, developing that relationship was interesting to see her more so embrace his cause because of the hatred towards her mother. Was pretty, that would caught me off guard, especially towards the end when she downright healed him and told him, you know, I need you to go kill her. Like, she was more in tune with his cause, especially after seeing, you know, her mom confessing all these evils to her. Her mom pretty much told her she didn't want her to be born. She despised her because of how she was conceived and all that. That was like crazy to me. And then towards the end, like after Mariah's death at the wheel, she just had this look of scorn when
you see her fist.
Yeah, she was
mad as fuck.
She was hot when she found out Luke was getting the club. But it was weird to me because in the beginning, it didn't seem like she wanted anything to do with that club. But
Nothing.
I don't know if y'all noticed, but when she went back to the club, it's reminded me of the scene of when Mariah killed Cottonmouth and was roaming through the club.
Yeah. She did the exact same and everything like that. Yep.
She put the picture of Mama Mabel down and was just touching all the couches and everything. And it was just, you could see after that, it seemed like she was just corrupted. So it's gonna be interesting to see how she is next season. I'm pretty sure she's gonna have some battles with Cage. But I just want to see how she goes about it with her knowing about all these herbs and everything, and pretty much being the bootleg black version of Poison Ivy. We're going to see how everything plays out, but it's pretty interesting.
Okay. Ace, how'd you feel about Tilda?
I mean, I pretty much already said how I felt about her with Tilda itself. I mean, I liked her at first, but then like towards like middle of the season, towards the end, she kept helping Bushmaster. I think she realized that Bushmaster wasn't necessarily a bad guy. He really wanted to just take out her mother, and that's the one thing that I think they had in common for sure. Because it's like she lied to Misty, she lied to Luke, and then she's lying to herself the entire time. And then, like, you know, she plays off this innocent, I'm just, you know, trying to do my own thing role. And then she starts turning into more of her mother and her grandmother. And it's just like, whoa, what the hell? What was all this, you know, kumbaya positivity and medicine you were talking about earlier on and then you get towards the end of the season, you see how mad she gets. She kills her own mother. She does it herself. She allows Bushmaster to sneak in through the back way of the big, huge party that her mother threw because she knew somebody was coming for her and all of that. And she actually helped fight Luke. She helped Luke Cage at first and then went against him. So it's kind of like, what? So it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic of how she is in the next season and how she plays a role in the next season, because now she feels some type of way towards Luke. So,
absolutely.
And there's an antidote or something like that on what she can do to try to take his powers away, or not an antidote, but some type of poison or whatever, because they mention it, just like how they mentioned they can counteract the nightshade. It's the same way they can possibly be able to counteract Luke Cage. So it'll be interesting to see.
All right, Bishop, how'd you feel about Tilda?
I liked her, you know, other than the fact that bad as fuck, but you know, I liked her development, and I kind of got Ace and AB pretty much said what I was gonna say, but to counteract what Ace was saying, I think at first she was all nice and stuff like that, to like try not to be like her mother. But the more she starts, you know, being around her mother, more being in Harlem, seeing all the dirty shit she's doing, you know, this and that. And the reason why she went against Luke because she knew that he wasn't gonna kill Mariah, no matter how much he hated her. She knew he wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah.
So of course, I think that's why he sided with Bushmaster, because she knew that he had the potential to do it, and he didn't really care about like doing it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's crazy. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you're right. Like Luke Cage was not gonna kill Mariah. Like he knew that she was up to all the bad stuff, but he just wanted her locked up, and it was getting to a point where like they weren't getting any dirt at all on her. Again, it was just until the very end when Shades ended up confessing everything that they had actually had something, and by that time Bushmaster was already in there trying to kill her his damn self. So that was pretty crazy how that ended up developing. But I agree with you on that, Bishop. All right, let's talk about Misty Knight. Now, in the beginning, she had no damn arm, so this is gonna take away a lot of your confidence, right? You can't work for real, but she was still trying to work, and her commanding officer was like, "Look, like you need to do some desk work. We're not gonna put you out there on the field." Coupled with that, you get a girl from your childhood who y'all playing basketball with, who already doesn't like you because you took her spot. She was fine because you took her spot on the basketball team when she got injured, right? So she already don't like you, but somehow she's on the same force as you and comes in your damn department and takes your spot. And then it has a partner when your partner died. So you a one-man army. And then your commanding officer wants you to take a seat. So she was already feeling some type of way. She was feeling helpless. And before she even got that arm, she was like, yo, like, I'm done. I can't do anything. You don't want me to go out on the field. I know all this information. I'm trying to lock up Mariah, and you won't let me do my damn job. I can't go interrogate anybody, so I'm done. I'm about to hang up my badge. Like I'm done with this stuff. But she ends up getting the message from Iron Fist and was like, yo, like we got this arm for you. Come and get it. Once she got that arm, then everything started to turn around from her. She gained her confidence back. She was like, all right, I'm gonna go back on the force. You gotta let me do something because we're going to lock Mariah and Shades up. And her relationship with Luke Cage this season was a lot more open. She was a lot more helpful and willing to listen. And she was willing to, again, do things a little bit dirty. She knew that Luke Cage was going to be her greatest asset because the police force was not letting her actually do the job that she needed to do. So again, that's why I ended up liking her a lot more in this one. Plus, she just kicked a lot of ass. I mean, you got a damn robotic arm, so she was fucking shit up.
Bro, can we talk about how her and Bay, aka Colleen, went in the bar and was messing people up? God damn, that bar scene was dope.
And when you got some sexist ass pigs though, who are mad at you because you locked them up, hey, yeah. Yeah,
we respect women.
No, but Colleen was like, Colleen was just chilling. She was like, okay, let me see what you can do because you got this arm. So let me see what your skills looking like. And so she was getting whooped at first, but then she thought about it. She's like, you know what, I can do this. So then she started turning it up and messed everybody up. And then Colleen got into it and finished the little dude off, and that was it from that one. So actually I wasn't even upset that Colleen and the Iron Fist were in this one. He wasn't annoying this time. Danny Rand was not annoying.
So much things to say about Iron.
Bro, Danny Rand is about to be the next season is gonna be dope. If he acts like how he did this time, then this next season is gonna be fire. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, so I don't like Misty Knight a lot more. So shout out to her for holding her own and not being an annoying police officer, not being annoying 12 that we all know that they could be. So Bishop, you say you got a lot to say. Let's start off with you, man. How'd you feel about Misty?
Misty, you can see like I like her character development as well. She's like you can see her like swaying to what's her partner name? I forgot his name.
Shaw or
yeah, Shaw. You can see her like kind of becoming like a dirty cop, but then she
when she was gonna plant the bullet?
Yeah, when she was about to plant the bullet. You can see her get fed up with the system, but like the more like episodes go by, you can see her using the systems for her advantage and actually doing something with it. And you can see her at first she doesn't want to be have her hand held, but then she realizes that with her actions that she's doing. Like at the bar scene, she looked at Colleen for help when she was with the fight. And she was like, oh shit, I can't be asking these niggas for help. So she did things on her own. And that's what she did throughout the whole season. She did things on her own, didn't really count on anyone else to do it for her. So she just went out there and did it for herself, you know?
Okay. Ace, how'd you feel about Misty?
I mean, I pretty much said it earlier. I mean, she character development this season was amazing. I think she worked very well. I think she opened up. I think she lost herself, but then she came back and she realized this is what I need to do. And you know what? I would agree to the most part about her, at first going down a dirty path and then going back and just saying, I need to do this by the book, and then going away from doing it by the book and doing it on her own. But now that she's gonna be the head of the department, the head of the police force, and the way that the ending was with Luke Cage, you can tell that she's not gonna go by how she wants to on her own. She's gonna go back more to being back by the book, like how the first season is. And her and Luke Cage are gonna probably butt heads because of how the second season ended in my eyes. But we'll go from there.
Yeah. All right, AB, how'd you feel about Misty?
First of all, I'm gonna need y'all to stop slandering my bae, Misty. But nah, I liked it. She, she was a little hard ass a little bit, and she let things kind of hang out. Like she was really on her shit with as far as being on top of things with all the investigations going on. So I like that she did resist, the evils of trying to do things the wrong way, even though it did bring up the dilemma, like, is it okay to do the wrong things for the right reasons? I like that whole little theme that they had going on. And that arm was just dope. I think it was funny to me that she was just really just beasting on dudes, like, with the arm. She was already shown to, have some kind of combat prowess, but with that arm, it just made it low-key unfair. Like when her and Luke Cage went to the little car shop and they was just beating the hell out of dudes. That was dope. So.
Okay. All right, so let's get to the main character here. Let's talk about Luke. Now in the beginning, again, when he got out, he was like, yo, like, I'm still trying to do my thing in Harlem. He ended up gaining a lot of notoriety because of what he did in season 1. So much they even had a little dude with him recording him, and he got an app telling everybody where he is at all times.
I hated that app.
The original, yeah. In the first episode, he got this. He was dabbing and saying, "You can't break me. You can't stop me. You can't shoot me. Like, so step up. Like, I'm here." Like, basically just issuing a challenge to everybody. Like, come and take Harlem if you want to. So it was cringy at first, but I understand why he had the confidence. He was very, very adamant. Yeah, he was very, very adamant about trying to save Harlem, and he was eventually, just trying to get with the times, like with the possible endorsement deals. He coming out there showing his prowess out there, running a 3.7, I think, 3.7, 3.8, like, so
faster than Usain
Bolt, pissing off the Jamaicans. Yeah, he pissed off all the Jamaicans, bro. They wasn't having that shit. Usain Bolt is a hero. So doing all that stuff, just basically just throwing tires and all of that. So he was famous. He was very, very famous. But again, at the end of the day, Luke Cage just wanted to make sure that all the drugs and the guns were out of Harlem. And who stood in there his way every single time? It was Mariah and Shades. And then you get Bushmaster coming into play, who stepped into Harlem as well. And that just made things 10 times worse. Adding to his relationship with Claire, that he ended up messing up towards the end, because all she wanted to do was make sure that he didn't go out there trying to save every single thing when he actually needed some help. He wasn't feeling that, and she wanted him to also mend the relationship with his pops, who also came back into Harlem and wanted to talk to him, which he ended up doing toward the end, but at the end it didn't end up mattering because he wasn't trying to have nothing to do with Claire. So he had to deal with all of these things at once. It can really take a toll on the guy's psyche. I'm not gonna lie, especially a black man. So everything coming into play, he was very, very fucked up toward the end. But At the end of the day, like, he just wanted to make sure that justice was served. He tried to save Mariah a million times, even though he knew that she was wrong. He was conflicted on that. He was like, yo, like, if it was up to me, I'd throw your ass out there to Bushmaster right now.
Right.
Like,
Facts.
he was at the point like, yo, I'm tired of this shit, because Bushmaster wants you, and he don't even
Nobody
really
else.
want to do. Yeah, he don't want nobody else. He just wants you. So I throw you out there, but I gotta do things by the book because Misty wants me to, and I'm not gonna kill you. So that was the main confliction with him, is he's on this Superman stuff. He's not gonna kill anybody. Well, I mean, sorry, he's really on the Batman stuff. The Batman don't kill anybody.
Right.
So he wanted to be like that, but again, it really just got a toll on him towards the end, because you have all these fights with Bushmaster. He almost kills you, throws you in the river where you paralyzed, and once he ends up finding out everything about him, he's like, yo, like, I should just let Bushmaster kill you. I should just let him do it, but I'm not gonna do it. But at the very end, once Mariah died and he found out that he got Harlem's Paradise, man, it's about to be something, because I think that he's going to get a little bit too comfortable up there. Harlem's Paradise does not just mean that, oh, you're protecting Harlem. Harlem's Paradise has been the mecca for guns. It's been a mecca for liquor, the Bushmaster rum. So it's a lot of bad things tied to Harlem's Paradise. And you being up there at your throne overlooking everything, he might get a little bit too power hungry. I'm thinking that's how they're going to set up season 3. And again, with Tilda feeling the way that she feels because she didn't get anything from her mom, I think that this is going to be crazy. And then I know that y'all noticed at the end they said that that Claire, the boy Sugar came through, and now he's like the right hand man. So he was like, yo, Claire's in the club, and he like, yo, send her home. Like, I ain't trying to even deal with her. Right now, you got Tilda in the club as well.
I think she sent her home just to make sure she was safe. I think that's what she did.
I mean,
she,
but
I
don't know about that one.
Some things were going down. He knew some shit was going down because he had to meet with the Italians, so he didn't want her around all that. And I don't think he wanted. I don't think he wanted her to see him like that. I
don't know, man.
I kind of agree with both JG and Ace, because I feel like he didn't want her to see him now, like what he is doing now.
Yeah, because that's basically like 100% against what he was fighting for in the first place. That's why I said I think he's gonna get power hungry. Like, you're right. He doesn't want Claire to see him like that. But I don't think it's necessarily because of your reason, Ace. It might just be because like I'm like at the same time, like I just don't want to deal with her. Just because of what's going on right now and how our relationship ended. We'll see if it ended up getting mended, but that's what I believe on that one. So
okay.
AB, we'll start off with you. How'd you feel about Luke Cage in season 2, and what you think is gonna happen in season 3 now that he has Harlem's Paradise?
Yeah, that dab was cringy as hell. Don't ever do that ever again, please. If anybody from Netflix or Marvel is listening, please do not try to make this man more relevant by doing anything that's outdated. That was cringy. But
that shit was stiff as fuck.
Bruh, it was horrible. Like, I understand this man's skin is bulletproof, but please,
that man said.
Like, it was so bad, bruh. Like, it's just like when you go to the club and see white people dance and they doing something from like 2013, like pretty much is what I got. But I don't know, Luke's character development this season to me was interesting because I can understand like the direction, why it went the direction it went and the way it went, but for some reason I personally didn't really like it too much, just because I felt like it seemed like he was being like emotionally a child, in my opinion, because I understand there's a lot that he had to deal with, especially the situation with Claire and everything. But it's like, you got this resentment for your dad. Okay, I get that. Like that's not uncommon in the Black community, period. But for him to be mad at Claire trying to get him to talk to his dad, and that being the reason he lost her, to me was just like, that was stupid on his part.
Very stubborn.
Very, like, how are you gonna, your girl's looking out for you. She's been looking out for you for 2 seasons, saved your life, and you can't do her one thing as far as like.
And you get coffee every day?
Bruh, man.
Bruh.
Coffee. That's Rosario, bro.
Bro, they were doing coffee all the whole season. Y'all saw that too, right? Like everybody kept asking this man for coffee, right?
Yeah.
Y'all saw that, right?
Yeah, everybody.
Coffee.
Yeah, all right,
Everybody,
cool,
bro.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Yeah, man. But I just didn't understand it. And then even when Danny came in, he was trying to help him. Like, yo, you feel me? Everybody was noticing, like, you kind of stiff, bro. Like, what's going on? There's something going on inside you that's not right. Like, you aren't yourself. We gotta, you know. And he just wasn't taking to anybody's advice. So it was just weird to me to see that when it's like you got all these people trying to help you, but yet you're not trying to take that advice to help yourself, but you're trying to help everybody else. And that was just weird to me.
Right.
The ending is really interesting because now he more so looks like, instead of Luke Cage, it kind of gave me that even though this movie was horrible, but that OG Daredevil vibe when we had Michael Clark Duncan playing Kingpin. That's exactly what it reminded me of. So it's like, it's gonna be interesting to see how this changes his dynamic, and maybe this gets him into the heroes for hire, you know, type of motive that they originally went with Luke Cage. So we gonna see how everything goes and transpires, but I don't know. So far, I'm not really feeling his turn for the worse, I guess. So
Yeah, we're going to see what definitely goes on with that. Bishop, what'd you think about Luke Cage this season?
I thought it was good this season, you know. Better than last season, pretty much what Ace and AB y'all said. But I kind of want to talk about Harlem for a second, you know, real quick. I was kind of like tired of the people of Harlem because they kept asking, you know, when you gonna stop Bushmaster, when you gonna stop Mariah, when you gonna stop all the guns, and he did do that. Now all of a sudden he's the bad guy for doing that. I never understood that. It's with in DW in the barbershop, he got mad at it's like, I think it was like the same episode, maybe the episode before that, he told him to do some of the drugs. He did something about the drugs, but now he's mad that he did something about those drugs that they were dishing out.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, it definitely happened because like right after, it was like right when he found out that he got Harlem's Paradise, he's like, look, like you're going into the same thing that you just said that you were trying to stop. Like he automatically was assuming that Harlem's Paradise means that you're associated with all the guns and the drugs. So that's why I said that it's going to be interesting to see like what he's really going to do with Harlem's Paradise, because again, it's all of that bad stuff that's tied to it. So DW would just like, yo, like I'm not feeling this. You should have said no to even getting Harlem's Paradise, and that's why he ended up changing his mind, because he like, look, I can guard everything from the top. So that's his mindset to it, but DW wasn't feeling it. So I mean, he was really the only one that turned up on him. He just wasn't feeling the fact that he even got Harlem's Paradise in the first place. And yeah, that was kind of weird. I was like, why are you so upset? Like like he literally like got everybody behind bars or they're dead. So why are you so upset, and why you turning up on him? So I get what you're saying, but continue.
Yeah, and I also see the build because remember how he got angry at Claire and all that. I think it's because he was like getting more emotional and more angry and frustrated about the whole, you know, Mariah not getting locked up. You know, Bushmaster coming in. No, but did he meet Bushmaster before or after he got argued with Claire?
What was the question?
What'd you say?
I said, did he meet Bushmaster before or after he argued with Claire?
It was before. Yeah, it was before.
Okay, so yeah, I think that it was from that, all the frustration, you know, that he can't deal with his father, he can't deal with Mariah, so he's just like, and that's why he beat up the abuser, that one guy at the party.
You talking about Cockroach?
Yeah, Cockroach.
Yeah, Cockroach. Yeah.
Him, knocked him out.
He got dead dirty too,
all across the whole thing. Yeah, so I like that. Like he was frustrated, then he started getting more calm, thanks to Iron Fist. Then, you know, he finally like owned up to his mistakes and stuff like that. So that was kind of interesting.
Okay. Ace, how'd you feel about Luke Cage this season?
Well, I mean, character development wise, I mean, they dope. Was looking forward to it itself. I did like the introduction of his father, and also RIP to the actor that played him. He died during the recording of it.
Yeah.
And they dedicated it to him, the season to him, and they talked about that when the cast of the Luke Cage season 2 was on the Breakfast Club. I definitely thought like the introduction of his father actually helped but also hurt Luke Cage because he was going back and forth and there's a lot of confliction. And yeah, I mean, at the end, with the way they did it end and everything like that, yeah, you can tell that, maybe, and that's why Mariah wanted to leave Harlem's Paradise to somebody that cared about Harlem so much, because this was her final act, because she said, just like her, even though as crazy as she was, she did care about Harlem. She did. And she knew that Harlem Paradise was going to either make or break Luke Cage. It was either going to put him in a position of where there was going to be a lot of confliction and he's going to get so knee deep into it that he would be that king of Harlem. He would be that person that would make sure that the Italians, the Chinese, everybody, everybody stays out of Harlem. And, with him being conflicted, he would think, well, he's doing a good thing. He's keeping the guns, he's keeping the drugs and everything out of Harlem. He's doing his job. Where no, he needs to realize that he's just not protecting Harlem. He should be protecting the people within all the boroughs. And that's going to be the confliction between everything. And then with Misty and with everybody else, like Claire, like it's going to be interesting to see what season 3 is going to go. Like I thought it was like, damn, like he's really doing this. Like he's in the full suit and everything like that. And he had the Muhammad Ali picture in the background. Like this is going to be real interesting to see where this goes for season 3 if they do move forward with it. Because from what I read, they wanted to leave it this route because they could end it with season 2 and then that's it. Or, it's the possibilities, the theories and everything like that. And they have a lot more to play with when it comes to going to season 3. So I'm looking forward to it if they do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Were there any other characters that you all wanted to touch on before we get to the final verdict of what we thought about Luke Cage?
Shout out to Sugar, homie.
Oh yeah,
for sure. I forgot all about him.
Sugar, that was hilarious. Shout out to Bay, Colleen. I already know Iron Fist. Yeah. Anyways, that's it.
It's nice that Mariah liked Sugar. They kept him safe.
No, she kept him safe because of the thing that his wife did for her.
Oh yeah.
That's why he was never touched. She made sure. But I would just like to say that Mariah was dirty because she did Alex that way, and Alex was her right hand man.
Yeah, she fucked Alex up, right?
Bro, that's crazy. Like when she sent that call, like, hey, like Thanos, everybody had to go, fam. It was ridiculous.
I'm like,
fam.
bruh, she got too much power, bruh. Like, they went on a rampage, yo.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, that was brutal. I'm not.
Yeah, Alex sucked her up. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna start off with you, Bishop. What would you rate Luke Cage season 2 out of 10?
Out of 10, I'll probably rate it either a 7.8 or an 8.
Okay, and why you rated that?
Because, it wasn't bad, it wasn't, the best, but it was just right borderline good for me.
Okay, all right. AbSmooth, what you rating Luke Cage season 2?
Man, tough crowd, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go like an 8.5 for real. Honestly, I really enjoyed it. Another thing that I didn't touch on, but I think the musical acts, that they did in the intermissions this year were way better. Like they were, they had the reggae touch, but they also still gave you some of the hip hop and everything. They had some good legends. That was pretty dope to me. And shout out my boy Sway, you feel me? Bay Area stand up. But yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. It's definitely better than last season. There was still some room for improvement, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Okay. Ace, what you giving Luke Cage season 2?
I'm actually gonna give it a solid 8. I definitely think it was a dope season. I really, really enjoyed everything of it. The character development, the story, everything along those lines. And I can definitely watch it again and have no problem seeing things that I missed. It makes me more excited to see if they're gonna introduce more things for the Iron Fist, for the Defenders, and everything along those lines. It was really, really dope to continue to see how things tied into everything. So I give it a solid 8.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 8.5. I love pretty much every character in this, especially Bushmaster. Again, I love that they brought him to the Killmonger route. I did not hate him towards the end. I actually wanted to see Mariah go at his hands, but it ended up being her daughter, so it ended up being crazy. And damn, what happened at the end with Luke Cage ended up getting Harlem's Paradise, and he was looking a little bit too cozy up there. So like I said, I think that in season 3, he's definitely going to be going after Tilda, and he might do some dirty stuff. I don't know, man. He might be kind of dabbling into it. We gonna see how comfortable he ends up getting with the Italians and the Chinese, but Misty might be on his ass too. So yeah, we're going to look out and see if they do a season 3 and how they gonna play that out with Luke Cage owning Harlem's Paradise now. So overall, with that, with all the scores added up, well, before we got an 8.25. So what y'all feeling about that? Y'all agree with that score?
Yeah, I do. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Would any of you rate Luke Cage season 2 in your top 5 Marvel Netflix though?
Yep. I think the top 3s.
Definitely.
Ooh, that's hard because there's a lot of other ones, but yeah, it would probably be like my 5. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't know because there's a lot. Because there's Jessica Jones, you got Daredevil season 2, you got so many of them, so it's kind of hard. But
I'm
yeah,
still mad that Jessica Jones season 2 wasn't as good as season 1 for me. Yeah. So, but
it started off good, but
yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely replace Luke Cage season 1 with season 2 in my list as a best. So there you go, man. There you have it. That is our review for Luke Cage season 2. Me, Ace, Bishop, and AbSmooth. Again, if you want to be on videos like this, like AbSmooth and Bishop, please consider pledging to our Patreon. Have a lot of rewards like being access to our Patreon Discord, getting a free AAA game or free indie game every month, getting access to these lovely Lucid Sound headphones. So be on the lookout for that, because we will be giving away at least one of those headsets to our Patreon backers every month. And I said every month. Did I say every month? I said every month. So be on the lookout for that. We also have other rewards like being able to be in videos like this and being on the GI podcast, which we will be doing soon as well. So got a lot of rewards, man. We're trying to grow this community, and we hope that you all can be with us throughout this journey, GI versus everybody. And other than that, man, we out. Peace.
you're